Welcome in, you guys. Cowboy here. Today we're going to be talking about the Garuda, or the cheesy gordita is what I call mine, because gorditas are what comes to mind when I think of this name for some reason. But anyways, guys, Deadeye is the first perk we're going to be looking at. Now, you get this 0 out of 6 upgrades. This is just the perk the boat comes with right out the box. This first part's what we're really here for. Depending on how far away you are from your target, you deal 80% increased weapon damage. Piercing weapons just flatline get a 20% additional, and that's really good right now, guys, because piercing just got a buff. Piercing type damage effects can now apply a punctured status effect. The punctured status effect is going to deal 5,000 damage immediately, and then it's going to reduce the target's armor by 500 for 15 seconds afterwards, which is a lot. But anyways, piercing type weapons hit 20% harder. When your whole health is under 40%, you gain 1,000 armor, and trimming no longer costs stamina for 10 seconds. We don't really care about that part. That part's kind of mid. It has a cooldown of 40 seconds. If it was permanent, no cooldown, that would be wild. But, it's just extra, I guess, something. Revolver right here, guys. 6 is where it gets real good. We're absolutely cooking with freaking bacon grease right here. Increases weapon damage by 30% when hitting a target with the punctured status effect. And then here's where it gets real wicked. Long guns no longer count as a top deck only weapon when equipped on the bow. Long guns equipped on the bow will deal 10% less damage, 20% longer reload times. We don't care about the longer reload times. You're getting 6 shots. The cannons are going to reload before you finish firing. 10% damage reduction, don't even worry about it. Powder kegs balance that out. Easy peasy. So go ahead and show you guys what I'm rocking, and I'll tell you why. And I'll warn you, when December 3rd comes out, this is going to be incredibly better than the La Piquere build, guys. Do not rock the Piquere build after December 3rd. Now, reason why: Divine Thunder, it does really good damage, right? Technically, if you had the Plaguebringer's Ward, La Piquere's hitting a little bit harder. This does really good damage. If you're hitting weak spots, this is obviously going to outperform, but it's really hard to hit weak spots at like 800 meters out. You're really just firing shots. You're hitting sails half the time, hoping to hit the body and deal like a 20k hit, But if you do hit a weak spot, guys, you're absolutely demolishing them. But here's the real kicker, guys: electric and piercing. Note that we have 20% damage as electric and 20% damage as piercing, and this is really important for later. But we're just Divine Thunder in all 4 weapon slots if you can, and then you're going to take Eye of Heaven. This is an electric mortar. We're actually taking this only because we have charge stores. If you don't have charge stores, you can take Leopold. Either works, Leopold or this. If you're using the La Piquere build, guys, use Le Fleu. You'll have 3-second smaller reloads and the same amount of damage. And then if you don't have any of that, guys, if you don't have any of these really good mortars, just rock the Termites 3. It's a piercing type weapon, so you'll hit harder with these. It's cool. It's whatever. Moving on to armor. Buccaneer's Oath is really the only viable option here. There are a couple more that come to mind. If you need to be tanky, Black Prince is always a good go-to. If you're doing PvP right now, because everybody's using the Piquere 3s, Wailing Ward is really, really smart to win takeovers. Immortal Vessel is really cheesy to win takeovers, but it works. Because if you're fighting another Gordita, right, you smoke them, they're now a smoked cheesy Gordita crunch wrap. They've got 6 seconds of fire back time with this. Now you're a smoked cheesy gordita crunch wrap. If you're both rocking this, you're going to win. If you're not rocking this and they are, they're going to beat you. Not because of any particular skill that they have or anything else, just because they get 6 seconds to sink you where you can't do anything to them. And these things, guys, this boat hits so hard right now that 6 seconds is all it takes to sink somebody at like mid-range. It's absolutely bonkers. So, anyways, in terms of major furnishings that I have for you guys, here are my offerings. I have Scope Station. This is probably the better one if you're solo. If you're in a group or you're doing public events, everybody and their mother and their dog and their auntie and all her freaking friends are running Scoping Station. So somebody is guaranteed to mark that target, so that you're going to take 100% more damage to weak spots. I think like Death Wish or somebody put out a video saying to use that, so I'm sure that's why everybody's rocking it. But personally, I'm taking Chuling's guidance just because there are so many people rocking this. I'm kind of counting on everybody else having this, so I'm getting the 100% increased damage from that, guys, and then I'm getting 30% every time I hit a weak point repetitively, and then I get 12% increased on my front deck weapons. And then as well as reduced reload time. Dude, am I having a stroke? I can barely talk this video. Holy. Charge stores, guys. It's a great option. This is one of the big things here because we're using all electric weapons. That 5% is really nice. And then this right here, when we apply Stormstruck, which is the lightning status effect, our next attack. So it's usually like every third hit we're going to apply Stormstruck. We're going to hit 50% harder on the next hit, which is, like I said, guys, if you've got your whole armor procced, that 25% increased weapon damage from your whole armor from sinking something, you're at max range. Somebody's got marked target on from scoping station. You've got your Chuling's guidance. You just hit a Chuling's guidance shot before this, and this bad boy procs. This sucker fires up. Let me tell you guys, you're going to be hitting like 130k damage on one of these hits. The highest I've seen, I was solo, I hit 63k. 63k solo. So, I want to know if you combo that, guys. Somebody go out there, do some testing. If you solo, or if you play, in a group with the correct setup, maybe like throw a battle junk in the group, have somebody rocking the scoping station, make sure the battle junk taunts them. Rock this. Let me know what you guys are hitting. Now, next up in the line, we've got Long Gun Works. This is just going to increase the secondary damage of Long Gun by 19%. And this is a big part of why I said pay attention earlier when I said we have Electric and Piercing as our secondary damage. Now, if you run the numbers here, guys, okay, you run the numbers here. Electric, 20% of the damage done is done as electric damage. 20% of the damage done is piercing damage, right? La Piqueray is misleading. Toxic does not add 20% of the damage done. This just means 20 of the damage can't be blocked. Okay? Piercing is 20%. So you're getting higher impact per shot, but your percentage buff is not the same. And so in the end game, guys, when you're rocking, I can't show you everything you need right now, but like I said earlier, come December 1st, you get this set. You get this furniture piece, you're gonna be the big dog. All right, you want to rock the high velocity kegs, and you want to rock the copper fastening station. Now the copper fastening station is already out. I'll show you guys really quick where you buy that. You go to this dude right here, the Sea People Hunts Master, whatever. You talk to that guy, and you can buy the recipe to go ahead and craft these bad boys. The other one comes out. This one, High Velocity Kegs, comes out in the Azure Strongbucks. That's the Winter Solstice event, December 3rd. So be ready to farm those up, boys and girls. But Copper Fastening Station and this comboed, guys, that is 30% increased secondary damage on top of the Long Gun Works, which is 19. So we're sitting at almost 50% increased secondary damage, which, again, guys, that's not so huge if it wasn't half of our weapon damage, right? Remember, this is 40% of our damage. We're getting a 25% damage buff on this number just from those two furniture pieces. Well, I guess technically 3 furniture pieces. You rock the front powder kegs with that, guys. You rock the appropriate setup, and you rock Divine Thunder. Trust me, if you play this right, you play at max range, you're going to be cranking ships for like 30k damage a shot. It's, and I'm not talking about crits. I'm not talking about weak spots. I'm talking you sit max range, you're just firing off into the distance, hoping to hit something. If you manage to, you're sinking that bad boy. Easy peasy. GG's. Get out of my chat. That's all I got for you guys. Like, subscribe, follow.